How to use Diogenes' philosophy to break free from restricting societal norms. In this world where we live in a world full of rules, expectations, and many other trappings, and thus many people feel trapped. Society often tells us what to think, how to act, and even how to feel about ourselves. We worry about what others think. We chase wealth and status, and we try to fit in, even if it makes us unhappy. But what if there were a way to break free from these restrictive chains and live a life of true freedom? I believe that it all starts in the mind. It all starts in our emotions, emotionally. And ancient philosopher Diogenes of Sinope might have some surprising advice for us. As you know, Diogenes was a Greek philosopher who lived more than 2000 years ago. He is often remembered as a rebel and a cynic. The word cynic comes from the Greek word for dog. Diogenes lived simply, challenged social norms, and wasn't afraid to speak the truth, even if it made people uncomfortable. He showed that we can be free by rejecting unnecessary societal expectations and living according to our values. So, in this video, we're going to explore Diogenes' philosophy and with modern examples and how can he help us break free from restrictive norms. Let's start. So, he wanted to live a really radical, simplistic life. That's not to say that we have to do that, but we can take something from that. And one of Diogenes' most famous teachings was the idea that happiness and freedom come from living simply and rejecting material possessions. Diogenes believed that people waste their lives trying to collect more money, bigger houses, and nicer clothes because they think these things will make them happy or happier. Instead, he argued that we should focus on what we truly need to survive and live well. He chose to live in a barrel instead of a house and own almost nothing. A modern example. In today's world, many people are choosing to live with less. Minimalism is a popular movement that encourages people to get rid of excess possessions and focus on what's important. For example, someone might sell their big house and move into a tiny house, using the money they save to travel, pursue hobbies, or spend more time with family. This approach can make people happier because they are no longer trapped by debt, clutter, or the pressure to buy more things. And how can you apply this idea? To break free from the pressure to own more and more, ask yourself, what do you really need to be happy? Try spending less time shopping and more time enjoying simple pleasures like walking in nature, spending time with friends, or reading a good book. When you stop caring about impressing others with what you own, you become freer to live the life that you want. Rejecting social approval. Diogenes was not afraid to challenge people and speak his mind. He often made fun of people who cared too much about their reputation and what others thought. He believed that trying to please everyone leads to unhappiness because you can't control how people see you. Modern example. Social media can be a trap that makes people feel bad about themselves. People post pictures and updates to get likes and approval, but this can lead to anxiety and low self-esteem. When people base their happiness on how many likes they get, they become prisoners of their mind and of other people's opinions. How can you apply this idea? Take a break from social media and reflect on how it makes you feel. Ask yourself if you're living for yourself or just trying to impress others. Diogenes would tell us that true freedom comes from being true to ourselves and not caring what people think. Be brave enough to speak your mind, even if it means some people won't like you. When you let go of the need for approval, you can live more authentically. Living in accordance with nature. And with this, I think even your internal nature. And Diogenes believed that people should live according to their true nature, not the artificial rules created by society. He often pointed out how animals live freely without worrying about the complex rules humans create. For Diogenes, living naturally meant focusing on what is essential for survival, like food, shelter, and companionship, without worrying about status, fashion, or social approval. A modern example. Many people feel pressure to follow certain paths in life, such as going to college, getting a respectable job, or getting married by a certain age. But not everyone is happy with this path. Some people find happiness by living differently, like traveling the world, becoming artists, or working in unconventional careers. And by rejecting the idea that there is only one right way to live, people can find more joy and more purpose. How to apply this idea? Think about what makes you happy and what you want in life, not what society says you should want. If you feel trapped in a job or lifestyle that doesn't make you happy, consider making changes. This might be scary, but true freedom often involves taking risks. Diogenes would encourage you to live according to your own values, even if it meant going against the crowd. Humor and mockery as tools for freedom. Diogenes often used humor and mockery to challenge people who took themselves too seriously or followed ridiculous social norms. He believed that by making fun of these norms, he could show how pointless and limiting they really were. Modern example. Comedy shows us satire often use humor to point out the absurdity of certain societal rules and behaviors. By laughing at the ridiculousness of some social norms, people can see how silly it is to follow them. For example, comedians might make fun of unrealistic beauty standards or the pressure to be perfect, helping people realize that these expectations are not worth taking seriously. When you feel trapped by a societal expectation, try to see the humor in it. Laughing at yourself and the rules you're supposed to follow can make them seem less powerful. Diogenes would remind us not to take life too seriously. By finding humor in difficult situations, you can free yourself from the stress and the fear. The courage to challenge injustice. Diogenes was not afraid to stand up to powerful people and to speak the truth, even when it was dangerous. He believed that everyone has a responsibility to challenge injustice and speak out when something is wrong. This takes courage, but it is essential for creating a better society. A modern example, activists around the world challenge unjust systems and fight for a change. For example, people have marched and protested to demand equal rights for different groups, stand against climate change, and challenge corruption. These movements often start when a few brave individuals speak out, inspiring others to join. And how can you apply this idea? If you see something wrong in your community or society, speak up. This might be scary, but it can make a difference. Diogenes would remind you that even if people mock or criticize you, standing up for what is right is always worth it. When you challenge injustice, you help break the chains that keep society stuck in harmful ways. Embracing uncomfortability. Diogenes was known for his ability to live in difficult conditions without complaint. He believed that people become stronger by facing discomfort instead of avoiding it. Modern society often encourages people to seek comfort and avoid anything that feels unpleasant, but this can make us weaker and less free. Modern example. Some people choose to do things that are difficult, like taking cold showers, fasting, or training their bodies through tough exercise. These challenges help people build mental and physical strength. By getting comfortable with discomfort, they become more resilient and free from the need to always be comfortable. How can you apply this idea? Try to push yourself out of your comfort zone regularly. Take on challenges that scare you, even if they are small. By doing so, you will become stronger and more confident. Diogenes would tell us that freedom comes from being strong enough to face anything, not from hiding from life's difficulties. And thus, in the end, Diogenes' philosophy offers us a powerful tool for breaking free from restrictive societal norms. By living simply, rejecting social approval, following our true nature, using humor to challenge absurdity, standing up for injustice, and embracing discomfort, we can free ourselves from the chains that hold us back. His teachings remind us that true freedom is about being true to ourselves, even when it's difficult. And the next time you feel trapped by what society expects of you, remember Diogenes and his fearless approach to life. Ask yourself, what really matters? Be brave enough to live according to your values and don't be afraid to challenge what you think is wrong. By doing so, you can break free from the chains of restrictive norms and live a life that is genuinely your own. I hope you enjoyed this short video. I hope that you got a little bit of wisdom and some nuggets to help you on your journey through your life. I'm Rock, the Wisdom Therapist, and until next time, I wish you all the best, my friends.